Imagine holding a message from one of Europe's very first great civilizations, perfectly preserved for millennia. You can see the intricate symbols, feel the weight of its antiquity, trace the path of its silent narrative. Yet, despite its perfect condition, despite over a century of intense scrutiny, it remains utterly incomprehensible. It is a whisper from the past that refuses to yield its secrets. This is the story of the Phaistos Disc, a small, fired clay artifact unearthed in a Minoan palace on Crete, dating back to around 1700 BCE. It's covered in a unique, spiral-stamped set of 241 symbols, human figures, animals, plants, and tools, unlike any other script discovered anywhere in the world. To this day, no one knows what it says, what the symbols truly mean, or what its original purpose was. Is it a sacred text, a royal decree, a game, a calendar? It remains a complete, tantalizingly unsolved message from the heart of the enigmatic Minoan civilization, a testament to a lost mind and an uncracked code. Our journey begins on the sun-drenched island of Crete, the heartland of the Minoan civilization, Europe's very first great Bronze Age culture. Flourishing from roughly 2700 to 1450 BCE, the Minoans were renowned for their elaborate, labyrinthine palaces like Knossos and Phaistos, their vibrant frescoes, and their sophisticated maritime trade networks that dominated the Aegean. This was a highly advanced, peaceful, and prosperous society, largely free of fortifications, suggesting a powerful naval presence that protected them. Their religion seems to have centered on goddesses and nature, and their art, characterized by fluid lines and vibrant colors, adorned their palaces, telling stories of their rituals, daily life, and the natural world. The Minoans were not illiterate. They developed several scripts. The earliest, a pictographic script, predates our mystery. Later, they developed Linear A, a syllabic script that we can read phonetically but cannot understand because the language it encodes is unknown. It's a bit like being able to pronounce the sounds of an unknown language without knowing what the words mean. These scripts, primarily Linear A, were used for administrative and religious purposes, documenting inventories, transactions, and religious offerings. They were practical tools for a complex society. But then there is the Phaistos Disc, a singular object, unlike any other form of Minoan writing, or indeed any other writing from its time. Our story takes a dramatic turn in 1908, during excavations at the Minoan palace of Phaistos on the south coast of Crete. Led by Italian archaeologist Luigi Pernier, the team was systematically uncovering the remains of this grand Bronze Age centre, which had been destroyed, likely by an earthquake, around 1700 BCE. On the 3rd of July 1908, within a basement room, identified as Room 8 of the palace's North Wing Annex, alongside Linear A tablets and pottery fragments, Pernier unearthed a small, unassuming disc of fired clay. It was roughly 15 centimetres, about 6 inches, in diameter, and 1 centimetre, 0.4 inches thick. But this was no ordinary piece of pottery. It was covered in an intricate spiral of unique, stamped symbols. What immediately set the Phaistos Disc apart was its method of inscription. Instead of being carved or incised, its symbols were individually stamped into the wet clay using a set of pre-made type blocks. This makes it the earliest known example of printing using movable type, predating Gutenberg by almost 2,600 years. The disc features 241 impressions in total, arranged in a continuous spiral on both sides. These impressions are made up of 45 distinct signs or glyphs, separated by vertical lines into groups or words. The direction of reading is still debated, but most scholars believe it spirals from the outer rim towards the centre. Its context of discovery firmly places it within the Middle Minoan Bronze Age, around 1700 BCE. Discovered over a century ago, the Phaistos Disc immediately presented one of history's most profound archaeological enigmas. Here was a carefully crafted message, preserved through millennia, yet utterly, stubbornly silent. It's a communication from a vibrant, sophisticated culture that we can hold, we can see, but we cannot comprehend. As we pause to consider the weight of this unread message, imagine the thrill of finally cracking this code. What profound truths might it hold? What forgotten stories might it tell? The allure of the unknown is a powerful motivator for scholars and enthusiasts alike. If this captivating journey into ancient mysteries and uncracked codes has ignited your own curiosity, I invite you to become a part of the Dusty Codex community. Subscribing not only helps us uncover more of these profound lost histories, but also lets you join a quiet corner of the internet where we explore the what-ifs and forgotten tales that shaped our world. Before we dive into the theories and the monumental challenges of decipherment, tell us, what kind of message do you hope the Phaistos Disc contains? A prayer? A historical account? A recipe? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's unravel this mystery together. The heart of the Phaistos Disc's mystery lies in its 45 distinct symbols. These are clearly pictographic, representing recognizable objects: a walking man, a woman's head, a child, a shield, a ship, a bird, a fish, various plants, a helmet with a plume, a bee, and many others. Each symbol is carefully rendered, almost like a miniature piece of art. But here's the critical challenge. These symbols bear no significant resemblance to other known ancient scripts, including Egyptian hieroglyphs, Mesopotamian cuneiform, or even the contemporary Minoan Linear A and later Mycenaean Linear B. It is an isolated script, a linguistic orphan. For linguists and cryptographers, the lack of parallels is compounded by other factors. There is only one Phaistos Disc. This means there is no Rosetta Stone with a parallel text in a known language, nor are there enough examples of the script to reliably identify recurring patterns, grammatical structures, or potential word meanings through frequency analysis. The small number of unique signs, 45, suggests it might be a syllabary where each symbol represents a syllable, or an alphabet, but the very short length of the text, 241 symbols, makes statistical analysis incredibly difficult. Every potential decipherment faces the challenge of proving its validity without a larger corpus of text or external confirmation. Over the past century, countless theories have been proposed, ranging from serious academic hypotheses to imaginative, sometimes fantastical, speculation. Academics have rigorously analysed the disc, often looking for patterns, recurring phrases, and potential connections to other scripts or languages. Some scholars suggest it's a religious hymn or a prayer, given its carefully crafted nature and unique symbols, possibly relating to a Minoan goddess. Others propose it's a legal document, a land deed, or even a form of administrative record, despite its non-standard appearance. Still others believe it's a calendar or an astronomical text, with symbols representing celestial bodies or seasonal events. Every theory, however, remains unproven. Beyond mainstream academic research, the Phaistos Disc has also attracted a host of more speculative theories. Some believe it's a message from an extraterrestrial civilization, or a link to Atlantis, or a magical artifact. The allure of the unknown often inspires such leaps of imagination. And then there's the perennial hoax theory. Some have suggested the disc is a clever forgery created by Luigi Pernier himself, perhaps to gain fame or recognition. However, extensive analysis of the disc's clay, its firing, and its context of discovery has largely debunked this theory, confirming its authenticity as a genuine artifact of the Minoan Bronze Age. The disc is real, its meaning is simply lost. Over a century has passed since its discovery, and the Phaistos Disc remains one of archaeology's most enduring and fascinating enigmas. Despite intense scrutiny, advanced computational analysis, and countless theories, its message remains uncracked. It stands as a profound symbol of lost knowledge, a silent echo from a vibrant civilization that had its own unique way of communicating. Perhaps one day, a new discovery, a Rosetta Stone for the Phaistos Disc, will emerge from the sands of Crete, or a brilliant mind will finally decipher its intricate code. Until then, this small, unassuming clay disc from 1700 BCE continues its silent vigil, a tantalizing message from a lost civilization, waiting patiently for a voice to finally read its ancient words aloud. It reminds us that even with all our advancements, some of history's deepest secrets remain stubbornly, beautifully unread.